If you want to start building your own apps by vibe coding using AI, well, Google has just made it easier than ever to get started. Their new Google AI Studio is extremely cool. I'm not normally a big proponent of browser-based vibe coding tools, but Google has done a really great job with theirs. And if you're just getting started vibe coding, this might be the best place to start. I'm going to show you how it works, how you can get started building your own first app using it, and why I think it is so cool and such a compelling way to get started with vibe coding. The first thing you're going to do is go to this URL, aistudio.google.com/apps, and you'll just log in with your Google account to access it. And off the bat, it's very cool that Google suggests some features that you can include in your app, because all of this is being built using Google's AI Gemini 2.5, which includes a ton of cool AI features like image editing, like video creation, like voice processing. And the AI Studio is designed to make it really easy to integrate those AI features into your app. So that's one thing off the bat that's very cool about it. Now we're going to start with something simple. I'm going to create a Pomodoro timer that has user logins and streak tracking. So this is theoretically something you could push to the web, you could log into, you could track your work sessions, and you could see how consistent you're being over time. I've already written the prompt for this, and you can find it down below. A browser-based Pomodoro timer that tracks how many Pomodoros you do per day and generates a heat map of your consistency over time. It should have user login so users can see their progress, and it should have a compelling landing page. And then I will just hit build. I don't want to change the model because I do want to use Gemini 2.5 Pro, and let's see what it comes back with. Now, as it's working, I want to point out another really cool feature here, which is suggestions from Google's AI for other features that you can add to this app. And they're going to start scrolling through here. So we could deploy it. I want to go back and see what this idea was. Yeah, set their own focus and break times to personalize their experience. Definitely, let's add that to the chat and we can send it in as a command after the first version is done. Implement task management. Okay, so if you want to set some tasks to do during your Pomodoro, that would be a great feature as well. I'm going to add that to the chat. Don't need Google Maps data. A sound notification when it's done. That would be great too. Add it to the chat. And you can see you can kind of keep going through these. And there's going to be more of these once we get the first version of the app built. Now we'll go ahead and let that run for a minute until it has a preview ready for us to evaluate. Okay, the first version of our app is done. We've got a simple landing page here. I'm going to plug in my name. Wow, okay, look at this. We've got a timer that we can start and it's going to run. Obviously, it's a little bit cut off up here, so we want to focus that. What does this arrow do? Okay, that skips to the break. We've also got a long break here, and then we can see some heat map consistency. So there are issues with this as well. The dates aren't exactly lining up with the stuff on the bottom. And what does get a new tip? I wonder if this is AI integration. Yeah, it is. Okay, so it's using Gemini to come up with a focus tip. All right, cool. So I'm going to let it go ahead and start working on some of these other ideas while we think about what needs to be fixed here. Because we want to make sure that this is actually working. So we need to fix this circle up here. I'm going to try taking a screenshot, and I use CleanShot for my screenshots, but you can use really whatever tool. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to say the circle is getting cut off on the top, and paste that in. This is a really great way to prompt using screenshots because these tools can always look at the screenshots to figure out what's going wrong. The other thing I want to point out here is that it has this checkpoint feature. So if you end up making some other changes and then you regret them, or it breaks the app or something's not working, you can always revert to an earlier checkpoint to get back your work. Now let's check its work again. Got to log in. Oh, wow. Okay. We've got some settings here. We've got our tasks that we can add. The timer is still getting cut off, so I'm going to go ahead and send in that request. That made it worse. Okay. So this is a common type of issue that you're going to run into with vibe coding, is these little design tweaks. So I'm not going to keep trying to fix that right now, but it would require some further prompting. The next question is, can we create an actual login system here? Because this is where things get a little bit more challenging for these tools, is can you actually build in user auth, or are we going to have to leave AI Studio and go to a more advanced tool to do that? So I'm going to say right now, there isn't really user logins. I'm just putting in a name. Can you create a true login system with email and password. And I suspect it's going to use Google Firebase for this, which is fine. I mean, Firebase is a great tool. It's probably not the one I would use, but let's just see how it does with this task, because these kind of more advanced integrations like user authentication are often what trip up these browser-based vibe coding tools. And it is going to just suggest local storage, which isn't really what we want. And so I'm going to try to push it one more time and see how it does. And if not, then this will be a good marker for like where the limits of a tool like this might be. Can you do a real auth service, not local storage? Let's see what it comes back with. Okay, great. And this is what I was looking for, is Google AI Studio is pretty explicit that it is just a front-end tool. And this is actually kind of helpful because it won't try to build something that isn't going to work. And so this is where the Studio is very, very helpful for getting started, but you will eventually need to take your code and move it into a more powerful tool. So I'm going to quickly show you how I would do that. You have two options where once you've created an initial draft of something, you can either save it to your GitHub account. So you sign into GitHub and then add it there, or you can just download all of the code for your app. So I'm going to download that. And then I'm going to unzip it. And finally, I'm going to open Cursor. And this is usually my favorite tool to use for this kind of work. So go to my downloads, FocusFlow Pomodoro, open it up. And then we can open the AI chat and say, how do I get this app running in my browser? And then we can just follow these steps. I'll open the terminal and I will do npm install. I'll copy the env local and make a new file called .env and paste it in. I'm not going to put in the Gemini API key right now. I'm just going to hope that it works all right without it. And then I'll do npm run dev. And this should open it in a local URL. And it does. Now, we're going to have a problem here because we can't really sign up because we haven't configured that backend service, right? So even if I try to make an account, I suspect this is going to fail. Okay, it didn't. That's actually more interesting. But you can see that the circle's actually fixed here. So this might have been a display issue in the AI Studio. Can we start our timer? We can. We can go to our short break. We can go to our long break. We can add a task. Yep, and it shows up there. Great. Can we change these settings? What happens now? Yep, we sure can. Okay, so everything is working. And so the last step that I would do here is I would kill this server, and then I would start a new chat, and I would say, we have the scaffold for true user auth in the app. Can you help me finish it using Supabase? And then Cursor would walk me through getting all the auth set up. I'm not going to do that in this video because it's a little bit more of an advanced topic, but this gives you a really good demo of what's so powerful about Google AI Studio. We got the basic version of this app working really, really quickly just by doing some quick prompts in the browser. So if you're on the go or you're just curious about getting something started and you want to try mocking it up, Google AI Studio is a great place to do it. And they make it so easy to just download your code, open it up in something like Cursor, and put those final steps on it that it can't do, that you can get pretty far with this. So if you want to try out vibe coding and you already have a Google account, this is a really great place to do it. I'll be excited to see too how the AI Studio develops into where it can eventually do some of these backend services. And I suspect that in the next 6 to 12 months, you'll be able to build a fully fledged app right here. So if you want to try building something quick for yourself, definitely check out Google AI Studio. It's a really cool new tool to have in your tool belt.